Okay. As the road to WrestleMania continues, and I can't say it's really been a great road right now, but we do make one final stop before WrestleMania, and that's actually over here, Chicago, Illinois, the United Center, Elimination Chamber, West Side Chicago, actually in Chicago this time. I would have liked to go to the show, but tickets are just too damn expensive nowadays, right now. But at least in over 30 something years now, WWE has not been to the United Center since SummerSlam of 1994. Yeah, they may have been there for, I believe, a live event, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago, back in 2017, 2018. But as in having a major wrestling show, WWE wise, they have not been there in a very long time. They usually go to the Allstate Arena, which is usually the suburbs of Chicago by O'Hare Airport. This time you are in the heart of the city where the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks play. So we are in this. It's Chicago, nigga. So let my co-host introduce himself today for this special occasion.
Oh man, it felt good. Straight face 40, back at it again. Man, it felt good looking at that Chicago. Every day was just, you know, Chicago. It wasn't like you said. It wasn't the All State Arena. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it just felt good looking at it. It was Chicago.
You are actually in the city this time. You're not on the outskirts. You're not in the suburbs. You're not in the middle of nowhere. Almost. You are directly next to downtown Chicago. So the United Center, it's a big deal. I know people debate if they really sold this place out. I don't know if it was ever said if it was sold out in that, but people have already been debating that right now due to ticket sales. But it looked like a full house. I don't know if it was really sold out, but with WWE nowadays and these super expensive prices right now. Hey, a nosebleed will cost you damn near what, $400 to $500 it was looking like. So yeah, this stuff is really expensive right now. So I'm not sure if it did sold out. Wow, a doorbell rings while I'm trying to talk about this show. That's crazy, isn't it? Alexa, I didn't ask you to talk right now. But go ahead.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know what I don't know what they did, Bray. Remember, they were struggling. They were struggling to sell these tickets. They probably made it look good. I don't think they did.
It looked full enough, but let me pass you the ball on this one real quick. Take the ball. Like, did you think it was that really fulled out, or it looked fulled out, but I don't know if it was sold out.
It it looked it good, and that's that's all I can give you. I ain't gonna lie to you because it just looked it good to me. It did look like it was like carved off, blacked out for in any sections. It was looked like it looked like it was full. I don't think it was packed. I mean, sold out, but I think it was full though.
But yeah, I get what you mean, though.
Yeah, I like
Sorry,
I
there was a
don't.
delay right there for a second. Connection was acting crazy.
Oh, yeah. Do you think going off a subject? It's not really going off a subject, but do you think WrestleMania is gonna be sold out?
Honestly, I know they went. I know they're going back to Vegas again. We already know that. We know they've been trying to put discounts on prices. Hell, you seen the whole blackout thing where they don't even want you in a 100-mile radius of doing watch parties and stuff. I don't know. Some people will. I feel like you just got to be super rich now to go to WrestleMania because we saw what happened last year, and I think it's gonna happen this year. But apparently, they've been struggling with ticket sales. That's not why they putting discounts on. I think sometimes people expect that even with the booking of the show, and I know a lot of people think it's bad right now. I think they just expect people to still gonna go ahead and buy it, but that's not gonna be the case. It looks like. Why even put discount on it now? Like the tickets are expensive, okay? WrestleMania, and the fact that you're going back to Vegas again is already crazy enough. But they made so much money last year over there. I think they just expect to do it again. And it's like you said over here with the United Center. Like I said, I don't think they ever said it was actually sold out. Like it was a lot of people there, obviously, but some people feel like comps may have been given out the last second or something. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But WrestleMania wise, I don't know, especially given it's still a two-night event too, and we know how expensive this was. Hell, we talked about it before last year about even the crowd and if it was really a sold out show or not, or did people arrive to the building later?
Eh, I mean, this time it looked like it was sold out. I mean, it not sold out, but it looked like it was full right off the jump. Like right with the women's elimination chamber. I guess they figured that it was going to be an elimination chamber at the beginning, so they couldn't, afford to
Miss
just
it.
miss anything like that. So they came right away that time. So I think that's what it was. I like the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I think. Well, how the Royal Rumble started again? What did they start with a Royal Rumble right off the back?
Yep, yes, they did. They started with the
Yeah,
women's rumble, and we saw how when that building was not full. I know people are
uh,
going to debate about the lights on the seats and that people were there, but I've
nah,
seen enough camera angles to know nobody wasn't there till
wasn't
later in the
that?
show.
And that's a God's side of truth. But I think this time, it was full enough. I think they figured like, man, we can't miss anything. They gonna start with a chamber match. You
And
know,
this Chi-Town, this is a wrestling city, so
yeah, yeah. So they knew what's up right away. They knew they couldn't, just mess around and come late.
no, they could not. And like I said, show started like at 6 o'clock. I know we're gonna have some debates. I know people talking about the crowd noise last night, whether some people believe it was dull throughout half the night, or I don't know, it was an audio mixing thing. I'm not sure. Maybe from obviously, if you're in the building, you're gonna get a different crowd noise than what you see on TV and stuff, or however you watching this show. Because I know there's been some debates over that. But like I said, they know people are gonna obviously show up here, giving us the Elimination Chamber. But let's do kick off with the Elimination Chamber with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Whoever win this match will face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, with all the participants being Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, and wow, my mind went blank on the last person. Raquel Rodriguez out there. Uh, Honestly, very predictable. I think we all knew who was gonna win. So
Hmm.
I'm not really surprised. One thing I know somebody kind of brought out when it comes to chamber matches, it looks like once everybody kind of gets into a pod, everybody's got to walk up to the other pod and have some stare down with somebody and look at them. We'll get like don't get me started on the long entrances because I know this is a four-match show and I know the chamber match is gonna take a while. Which honestly, I looked at the time, the how long these matches went. It amazes me like what this show started at 6 o'clock p.m. here yesterday, and I don't think it went off to like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock, which how are you stretching four matches in like 4 hours? Like I get it's the chamber, but if we want to talk about ads, commercials, and multiple other things, especially depending on how you watch the feed, whether it be through Netflix or ESPN, you're gonna see commercials or maybe backstage segments and them trying to stall for time. But like I said, I think this is very predictable. I was talking to Shaggy. He was kind of telling me that I guess through his line of feed, I guess people thought Tiffany Stratton was gonna win. I never thought that at all. It was gonna be Rhea. So the match itself, I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't think it was nothing too crazy in this match. Maybe Bliss jumping off the pod and a few other things. Kiana James getting the start off, which I know a lot of people said she was still green out there, but they're obviously giving her a shot by putting her right at the get go in this match against I think her and Tiffany started off. So yeah, they were the first ones that started off in the Elimination Chamber.
Can I interrupt right there?
Right here.
Yeah. So how I felt about that, I felt that was kind of I ain't like that. I thought either one of them should have been in the match with somebody who has some type of veteran experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a couple of people who's in there. Like you could have paired her up with Rhea. You could have paired Tiffany up with Rhea. I know they wanted to use that later on when we get to that, but I don't know, having Tiffany and Kiana right away, like people, they wasn't really invested in it until the names started coming in.
True, especially once the bigger ones started coming out there, of who they wanted to see come out of the pods. Because even with like everybody coming out of the pod, I feel like Yeah, we want to count by numbers here because like who was the third one out the pot? I think Oscar was like the third one, and then Bliss was the fourth, and Ripley was five, which everybody popped for it in. Because Bliss was the first one ended up getting eliminated. Actually, did like her like Bliss twisted Bliss thing off the top of the pod. Which one thing about the chamber, and I think somebody told me this. Like we know the design of the chamber has changed nowadays, so we know how like the padding on the floor is not as brutal as before. Even like the whole pod, it's no glass; it's just like plastic, like plexiglass up there. Like the chamber's been changed; it's not as like brutal steel like it was in the past. But yeah, it's like it was depending who was coming out there of who was gonna get the big pop. Because well, Asuka she misted Bliss, so she was the first one out. And then once Raquel came in, which they've been doing good and making her look like a monster several times with the big power moves and stuff. They've done a pretty good, solid job with Raquel because she ended up eliminating what both Asuka and Kiana after doing the her Tejada bomb and whatnot. Um, pinning both of them. And then, if I remember, they went to the pod and Ripley ended up throwing Raquel off the pod with Tiffany, and then Tiffany hit a moonsault and won. And then when it came to the final two, like I said, this isn't really much as a surprise. And given that Rhea lost the tag belt on SmackDown, that kind of made it know she was gonna win. Like, come on, who else was gonna face Jade at WrestleMania? So like
Yeah,
Ripley won, Riptide knocked into the pod and won. So there you go. This match went 24 minutes, by the way.
man, for real, that's it.
Yeah,
Hey, ain't that something, man? They showed some restraint. All right, 24 minutes ain't bad for a chamber match. It didn't feel bad though when I was watching it. It really didn't feel like it was long. It didn't feel like it was bad. To be honest with you, um, when I go into women chamber match, I know I'm gonna get my head chewed off for this. You know what I'm saying? I know I am, bro. But I'm not I'm not expecting to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just it's any other gimmick matches when I see these girls there, see these women there. I see the war games and the elimination chamber. It's just like it's not good. It's just not as good. I wouldn't say this was bad per se, but it just wasn't. It just didn't hit. You know what I'm saying? Like it just didn't hit. I was waiting for the winner. You know what I'm saying? I was just
yeah, it
waiting for
was.
the winner. I was like, okay, let me just get to the winner because this is really not that good of a match.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before, even when it comes like the war games, like you just said, with the whole equality versus equity thing. Like, I'm not gonna go back into that, but we've talked about in past videos before with other people. But in this match here, you was just waiting to win who was gonna win this. Like, this wasn't hard to tell, okay? And what do you think about Rhea versus Jade at Mania? Because I don't really see this going long. Like I said, this is a Jade match, so just it's not gonna go that long, I believe. And I know
They go
people
like,
gonna. No, I
my
was gonna
bad.
say, you good, but I was gonna say, how a lot of people gonna put that. Jade barely defends the title at all, and what was it, over 100 days till she faced somebody, and a lot of people kind of thinking that they better hope Rhea doesn't get hurt while going against Jade. Yep.
Nah, my bad. I didn't know you were passing the baton. My bad.
Oh.
We would have lost the relay race off with that one. But no, no. Here's the thing with Jay. I think they know. You know what I'm saying? Remember when we were talking about that before? I think during the wrestler server award. We were talking about that. We was like, I think they know what they got now. You know what I'm saying? Like they just know they got a dud. Like that's how they looking at this. Like man, how we gonna get her over without her have to get in the ring? You know, I think that's what it is, bro. But here's the thing, like you said, it's not going. It's not going go long. It's not going. I think it's gonna go probably. It's gonna be one of the shorter matches. Shorter matches, in WrestleMania weekend. Probably, it probably gonna be one of the shorter matches. They're gonna let them have a lot of power moves against each other. They're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be beating the hell out of each other for that short amount of time. Because they big women. Let them have the little power moves and stuff like that. And Rhea gonna go over and take the title off of Jay.
I give it 10 minutes,
Yeah,
15 lucky.
yeah, lucky. We probably a stretch because
I give it 10.
yeah, you don't want Jay to be exposed out there really in front of that crowd.
True, and
So
it's WrestleMania, so I don't know how the promos are really gonna look going into this and whatnot, but obviously, like I said, they got Rhea back in the title picture now and being a single star again since losing the tag belts. I will say this though before we kind of move on. What did you think about Lash being the one to pin Rhea on SmackDown?
um, I don't know how I felt. I think they, remember what we was talking about during the Rumble, and we was talking about how they was looking at Lash and everything. They got um you know, pretty high hopes for Lash. So I think that's what it is. They just pushing her, you know.
Yeah, they're pushing her. So I don't know. I was just kind of thought it was interesting now. Like, oh, okay, she pinned Rhea then. And that just Io, I thought was going to get pinned in that match. But like I said, Rio was going to recover anyways by winning the chamber. So yeah, like we already know how this was going to go. So like I said, this was just a very predictable match. It wasn't bad. It was just really predictable. We already knew what was going to happen. So it is what it is on that. But as we move on, no, we now move on to the women's intercontinental title match. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. AJ, who hasn't had a singles match in over a decade now, and a title match. I do find it funny sometimes when they try to say she's from. Well, she probably lived in Chicago for over a decade now, but we know she's from Jersey and whatnot. But like I said, this is her first singles match in over a decade. I did find it was funny during the introductions that Cole called her AJ Styles, which they was really botching a lot of names throughout this show. I'll
Yeah,
say
they
that,
was.
especially the
They,
ring announcer. People say this guy really sucks. That does the ring announcing.
yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him.
I
I
think he
don't
was the
know.
guy doing the heel John Cena thing in intro when Cena
And
was
then they
giving him the
just
notes.
gave him a. Then they just gave him a job after that.
I think
Like
he was
not
already there, but Cena tried, I guess, try to enhance his entrance and introduction by having that guy read the whole thing off.
right. Yeah, I
But
don't
no,
like dude.
yeah, he's not really good. No, he's trying too hard, and it just looks like he's just yelling half the time. He's
Yeah,
not.
he don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he's really good. I will say this: I kind of knew, probably figured what was gonna happen anyways. That and the champion came out first. I do find it funny with Becky, saying like, "I am the best." Sports Illustrated told me, and the mayor of Chicago has now named it Becky Lynch Day. Um, honestly, I thought this match was kind of rough. It wasn't bad. Like we got to give like okay, it's been over a decade since AJ's had a singles match. So in a way, I'm kind of like somewhat giving it a pass, but I knew it was gonna be rough going in a few times. I think the promos really sucked going into this. I'm almost surprised it's made the pay per view to some extent, but the promos have really sucked, and I mean with both women, like either just too much overreacting or just really bad. And like the match itself, like I said, Becky was doing a lot of heel shtick out there. I thought she looked like dressed like a construction worker almost with the neon green yellow thing going on jacket. But her removing the turnbuckle pad and knocking AJ into it, and then the referee getting knocked down then a couple times. And then even when AJ hit the Black Widow, which Becky tapped out, the ref's still down and they're trying to get the referee up then, and then there's like a chair involved, which they missed the chair. It looked like when Becky did the DDT. I thought she missed the whole chair, and then did her whole manhandle slam thing, but AJ kicked out. And I think she tried to throw it back into the turnbuckle, but the referee, they've been playing the story about the crooked referee with Becky, and then AJ had tried to roll her up, but she ended up knocking her into the exposed turnbuckle while the ref wasn't looking. Hits the Black Widow. Becky tapped out. So it was what it was. It was decent, but it was pretty rough at the same time. Like I'm not really surprised who won here though.
Um. I was. I'm not gonna lie because I thought AJ was gonna do a one and done and then be gone for a minute type
Probably
of
till
thing.
Mania.
Yeah, I just thought I didn't even think she was gonna be at Mania. To be honest with you, I just think that I just thought to myself that they would have probably had no room for her, you know. But I, it kind of surprised me. But like you said, it was pretty rough at first. But you have to get AJ that that she only had this her first match, her first single match in, over a decade. They did pretty well by hiding her in a tag team match. You get what I'm saying? With her husband. What did she have another match afterwards?
War Games. War Games.
Right, and then they hired her in the War Games too. So that was pretty good. But this was her first one on one. If they have another one, they run it back at WrestleMania. Probably gonna be the better match. You know what I'm saying? So I just probably look forward to that to see if they have a better match at Mania because that's how I look at it. They who else they gonna have AJ go against at Mania at this soon?
They probably gonna
Or
rematch with Becky.
yeah, that's the only logical point right there because
Some
you would
type of
you
gimmick match.
yeah that's probably so. It's to hide the weakness again until every day until she get really comfortable back in the ring again.
Because we saw
But
the shenanigans in this match.
yeah, of course. Becky character, she go do the shenanigans. So that's good. That good that you know, they at least make it makes sense that Becky is doing these shenanigans because that's her character. But I didn't think the match was bad. I just didn't think it was all that good. It was okay.
It was decent enough. Cause like going into this, even I wondered how this was really gonna go. Cause like I said, the promos was just horrible. The promos leading into this on Raw, that shit was bad. That shit sucked. Like the match was decent enough. I don't think it's over. So like it is what it is. And like I said, AJ gets a big title win in United Center and stuff. So I'm not too surprised of who was gonna win this here, but I feel like they may run it back in Mania. So I probably see that happening. Moving on. I know they had some thing with the box and Papa John's Pizza and R-Truth. We didn't get to the world title match on the line. In a way, I kind of thought this was going to be the main event for some reason, but it was CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor coming out to his old thing. I'm glad they're keeping that. CM Punk coming out to the Chicago Bulls theme song with the introductions, and you even saw like on the like the video screen and stuff, the Titantron, and above it, like it's like his jersey, but with the WWE title on it, or the reigns he held and stuff. But even
Hmm.
having like I mean, they had the actual Bulls, one of like announcer out there, like when the Bulls music is playing, how they introduced the Chicago Bulls, well, especially when Michael Jordan was around, leading into the Cult of Personality entrance. So that was really cool though. Like I did like his like bomber jacket with like Larry on the back of it. So and he had like the Blackhawks gear on, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So no,
Yep.
that was pretty cool. Like it's Punk in the United Center for like the third time, honestly. Like if we want to count AEW, so it's probably like the third time. It's just WWE this time, and I'm gonna get more to United Center a little bit later. But this match, I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was.
It was really good. So I don't know why people keep saying Punk is gassed all the time. I didn't think he was really gassed here, maybe at the end. But I think the thing going into this match is like, we know who's going to win this. We
Yep.
know Finn ain't going to win. So I think there's a reason why people are not going to buy into it all the way. Obviously, Punk's going to be super over right here and whatnot. But we know he wasn't going to win. But I did enjoy the match, though. The near falls, Balor going for the coup de grace. I know you have Punk bleeding out there, and then like doing like the shotgun drop kick into the into like the barricade and stuff, and then getting him again with the coup de grace was still a kick out. Punk, I know he did the coup de grace, and then like Punk like grabbed his leg and then like switched it over into like a sharpshooter then. And like I said, Fans was in this match. He hit him with a few kicks, and he does that whole thing where it's like he knocks somebody. off the ropes and then hits the GTS after probably hitting one GTS, hitting another one, and getting the win. So he got the clean win right here. For a second, I actually almost expected Judgment Day to come out and interfere, but Finn did tell them to stay back. I actually thought they were going to end up kind of screwing him out of the title right here, but no, Punk won it clean, and they both shook hands right after. And then AJ came out and celebrated with CM Punk and even put the ones up that both of them are champions now. So this was good. This was a good match.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This was a good match. I was looking at it like, man, they did everything to make us believe that Finn can win the title. Did you feel like they tried to make us believe that? They were doing a lot to make us believe that. Finn was ahead. He was ahead at most of the match. He was on top most of the match. He was hitting the special moves and everything. They were making us trying to make us believe that, but I don't think they got me. I don't know about. I know for sure they didn't get you, so I know that already. And and they tried their best, but it was no way that you could convince us that you were going to change that world championship match. Yeah, there was no way that you were gonna convince us that. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, very good match. A very good match. I was really, I wasn't surprised that I kind of figured when I was going into the chamber that I was like, the best match to me is going to end up being CM Punk and Finn Balor. Even though we got two chamber matches, I still think that they gonna still be better than the two chamber matches. I never thought that Becky and AJ were gonna be a super banger anyway, so I kind of X that out. But I knew this match was gonna be the best match of the night.
Yeah, it was really good. And it's like we said, we knew who was gonna win it. We know we're gonna get Punk and Roman at Mania, which Roman will finally show up now tomorrow to continue this whole thing. But Finn going against him, it was like a pit stop in a way for Punk and stuff. So, like I said, it was a good match. Do you think Judgment Day will implode again, or still teasing and kick him out, or they're just gonna keep teasing it like usual? Because some believe that Punk will now, not Punk, but Finn will now move on, I don't know, to face Dominic for the Intercontinental title, probably at Mania, or if the Judgment Day, or whatever's left of the Judgment Day at this point. I don't know why this group is still a thing. Kill it already, but will they kick him out since, Finn told him don't help him?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that Finn was going to continue on with his face turn because that's all this is about. It's about a face turn. Do you think that Dominic is going to be his opponent
Probably. Probably. It's not like, hell, it's not like Dominic's really doing anything right
doing
now at the
anything
Intercontinental
right?
title, so
Right? Is
he
he
hasn't
still
done.
injured? Is he still injured and he just on TV or what? Is he taking bumps or
Well,
what?
yeah, he was in that triple threat match. The one to get in the chamber with
All
Gunther
right,
and Evans there.
Evans. All right, yeah, I remember. Okay, so what is he doing then?
Walking
Is he
around
a
with Liv,
translator? Is he a translator now? He's just gonna be the translator now.
walk around,
Every time Stephanie and Liv go have a promo, he gonna be there.
or I guess he's on AAA because he's got that AAA mega title.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Do you think they're gonna try to put some type of importance on the title by putting it on Mania?
Um,
Cause you got a feud right there. It's a feud. You can throw the title with that feud unless you don't want to. But
they probably will, to be honest. Knowing them, they probably will. I'm not sure. I don't know what goes on AAA all the time, other than what a few people tell me. And stuff like I told you before, people tell me Americano is really that over Kaiser Kano, and Dominic is damn near treated like a big face down there, and they don't like Vikingo. Well, there's a reason. I bet there was a lot of reasons why they don't like Vikingo because they feel like he
what
was
going
just.
on with Vikingo?
But it was kind of
That
like
was
that in
what?
the get go because they still mad about the whole Alberto thing, about taking the belt off Alberto and putting it on Vikingo because they knew it was a WWE move.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't get mad at him.
I think they put Omos with him now, to what I heard.
Yeah, yeah. What big man, little man type of tag team or something going on?
Yeah, so I believe they're heels down there. I don't know. I just know like what else? JBL and Corey Graves on commentary and Rey Mysterio translates literally right after. I don't know. I think the whole thing is usually Spanish commentary sometime and Ray has to like translate it. Or they got JBL and Corey Graves out there. I
Okay,
don't know. I don't watch the show like that. I just be hearing whoever they put down there half the time.
right, true. Yeah, I don't pay no attention to it. I just looked at it like you got a title on a person who could go who could go into a possible WrestleMania feud with Finn Balor. Why not have the title on the line? Why not? You know,
Because
but
the Intercontinental title, I forget Dominic's the Intercontinental Champion sometime. I really do.
I forgot. I just forgot too. My goodness, he is. Well, oh, so that title could be on a wait. I ain't know. I forgot all about that. Real talk. I told you, Brace. I haven't been, paying attention. So I like,
He's
God,
still the Intercontinental
he
Champion.
said the Intercontinental Champion. For God's sakes, man. Like, you made me. That's so crazy, man. Intercontinental Championship was on the road. You know what I'm saying? It was relevant again. People would love the title again. And then all of a sudden, it's just you put it on somebody who not doing anything, and then it back to being irrelevant again. Come on, man. That's not do the Intercontinental Championship like that.
Yeah, so they really got nothing kind of going on with the IC title right now. Like I said, it's just Dominic running around with Liv and translating. So will Judgment Day implode? I have no idea. I honestly don't even know why this is still a group at this point. Either somebody's hurt half the time, or we forget who's even. Let's say McDonough just came back, so he was hurt and came back. I think Rox is out because I think she had an injury or had some surgery to remove a mass or something. So
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
heard about that. Raquel, they got her doing her own thing, but I don't know. I feel like she's gonna play something, some type of part with Liv come WrestleMania, and we already know Liv's going for the title. So I don't know. And Finn, I don't know. I just want Finn away from these people. I just want Finn away from these geeks. I'm sorry. I've been saying that. I want him away from these geeks. So hopefully this leads somewhere with this face turn and wherever it goes. But like I said, we knew he wasn't going to win this match. It was good. Like I said, we got to get the Roman and Punk. That's obviously the big main event for WrestleMania because now they got to really respark it back up after that one promo, which is a great promo, but they got to respark things up by tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens. Uh, moving on though, they show people in the crowd: Michael Chandler, Giannis, little Yachty out there. And now we move on to the box, the crate, the mystery box.
Oh
What's in the
man.
box? The box. I don't know what's in the box. It's a dick in a box. No, 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 not that one. That's it's a dick in a box. But no, we get to the mystery
Can
box.
I, can I say something right quick?
Please go ahead.
But I was listening to a lot of reviews over the weekend. Everybody kept on just saying how it's either going to either be a gobbledygooker type of thing, or it was going to be over because most people think like, man, you have that type of gimmick that over weeks, or weeks ahead, that everybody been thinking about like, man, what's in the box, what's in the box, and stuff like that. So you would think that it'll probably be over and people will be anticipating it. But I don't know. It's like I told you before we started, I wasn't invested, so it was like I would it it wasn't gonna really disappoint me, but I ain't think it was going. Well, let me say it like that. I ain't think it was going to disappoint me, but it did. Back to you.
Because this was really bad. This sucked. Because listen, a lot of people thought Chris Jericho was gonna. I knew it was gonna be Chris Jericho, and now they saying they froze his contract in AEW apparently.
Yeah.
So I knew it wasn't gonna be him. Some people thought David Finlay. Some people thought Evil. Hiromu Takahashi. I don't know. And it wasn't until somebody told me something about early in the day about it's gonna be some guy with a face paint. I said like Danhausen. I'm like I knew I heard something about that, but I wasn't so sure because they had Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis open the crowbar with the box in there, and then there was a coffin inside of it. And then next thing you know, all these like female dancers start doing a dance routine in, and Danhausen comes out with what this is very cartoonish by the way too. It just looked like some monsters type of dance routine and stuff. And when they were dancing and it was smoke out there, and I guess he put a jar of teeth on the table or something. And then when it stopped, you could hear the fans boo out there. This was bad. People
Man.
booed at this. They booed at this very loudly. First off, let me say this about Danhausen. And this is
All
gonna
right.
this look first off, nobody didn't know who he was. It was complete
No, no,
crickets out
no,
there.
no, Bryce. Nah, 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 nah. I wanna push back on that because here's the thing. Even though my audio it wasn't the best audio because I didn't hear the boos like that. I heard, I heard some semblance of like, oh man, you can hear people were gasping a
Really?
little bit. Yeah, because I swear it was like a couple of people in the front row right there, like, oh man, woo. They were looking like they knew who he was. You could hear a little bit, and then once they figure out that was it, and then they started booing. I promise you, they started booing after they looked like who? Oh man, it's him. Then all of a sudden they look like, oh man, it's him. And then they just started booing afterwards. I'm like, man, I swear it was like that was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, wait a second, y'all was surprised it was him. Then once y'all figure out it was him all the way, then y'all was like, what? This all we get? I
Dude,
swear, it's like Chicago was like, what? This what we get?
dude, like
Danhausen?
Dude, let me say this. Like, somebody told me I'd be pretty pissed off if I was paying almost $500 just to see Danhausen come out of a box to go to this show. I'd be pretty pissed off about that. Because when I saw it with my audio, I thought it was crickets when he came out there. I didn't think he got no pop. I didn't even think he got a reaction. And I'm gonna be honest, some people feel like this proves that people don't even really watch AEW. But here's another thing too. When was the last time this guy was on AEW television? Because I didn't even know if he was really gone from the company in that. I had heard about his contract, and honestly, I believe he got into this company because he's friends with Punk. I know that he's friends with Punk, so that's how I kind of believe why they signed him because I don't remember the last time I ever saw him on AEW television. And if I'm really trying to think about this, I think it wasn't he out there with Hook, if I remember? I don't know. That was probably the last time I remember, but I thought nobody know who this dude was. But then again, I don't even remember the last time he was on AEW television. So this went over like a wet fart in church. So I don't know where this comedy act is gonna go. Dude, I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised they even put this on the Elimination Chamber at the United Center. This is some shit you probably would have thrown on NXT or something. I I don't I don't know where they thought this was gonna go. I don't know. It was I thought it was weak. This was bad. This was the shits.
Yeah,
This
they were very bad, Bryce. I'm not disagreeing. This was horrible because people didn't understand. Like this, what you were building up weeks about. Like it just seemed like WWE is just picking up just about all the AEW scraps now. It's like what's going on? Oh, you pick up Miro. I mean, you pick up Rooster. You pick up Black. Then you turn around
Hobbs.
and you pause Ricky. You get what I'm saying? Like you pick up all these guys, and then all of a sudden you pick up Dan House. Like what Dan House is gonna do for you, bro? What
Well,
serious? Like I don't understand. Is he gonna sell some merch? Because that's apparently about it.
yeah, cause like, what is he like? Given he's a comedy act, like, is he gonna sell merch? Is he gonna appeal to the kids? Like, who does this appeal to? Like, that's the only thing I could kind of think of because this was really bad. I'm honestly surprised they even put this on the damn pay per view. I'm like, this is what people wanted to see. Like I said, I thought he got no reaction. This looks like some I don't even want to say the Adams Family Monsters type of thing, but this shit was trash. This was trash. Especially like I say, if I was paying that much money to come here and this is what I get, I would be very pissed off. I paid all this money to come to this show for this shit.
Right.
This
Yeah.
was goofy.
Yeah. I know. Very, very goofy.
So this was a waste of time. It really was. So I don't know what is gonna happen next with this. Like you said, the gobbledygooker thing. This is very comparable to that. So I don't know. Like you just raise a lot of people's expectations just to get a lower card comedy act. So this was bad. This was very freaking bad here. So waste of time. But now we move on to the main event of the Elimination Chamber. These entrances took like 20 minutes to get through. I felt like that maybe that's why the show was stretched this long. Of like 20 minutes because you had Trick Williams coming out there. Obviously, he's gonna get to whoop that trick chance and standing on the pod and stuff. You know, get the aura farming. LA Knight comes out there with a big pop. Logan Paul. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about Logan Paul being in this, given that they replaced Jey Uso at the last second, putting him in there? Because I thought Jacob Fatu was gonna be in this thing.
Yeah, when I was watching SmackDown, I thought so too. And then it just like I don't know. It kind of you talk about going over like a wet fart. Like that kind of went over with me like a wet fart because I was just like I just didn't understand like why Jacob couldn't be in there. Like what are we gonna do for Jacob? What type of storyline are we going into Mania with Jacob? You know. Are
Yeah,
we
I
gonna
didn't.
have Jacob in Mania? Like that? Like we have to have him because the storyline says so. So I don't know. And Logan Paul being in there, and they made him look good too. Like they made him look damn good. I don't know, man.
Because, like, I get it. Bronson Reed got hurt and they called an audible. And then they put Jay in there. And then, like, because Jay wasn't really supposed to win it anyways. But, you know, I heard about him on ESPN, like, getting mad and stuff. And now they, like, mysteriously taking him out now. Which, for some reason, I'm kind of now looking at Sami Zayn for some reason. But, yeah, it's like, okay, now we got Logan Paul right here. I'm like, that's really making it better. But we got to make whatever's left of the division right now because this group is cursed. Because most of all the original members are hurt, but we'll get back to that in a few minutes. So, but yeah, they put LA Knight in there. Randy Orton, you know, everybody's got to sing his theme song. Like I said, these entrances went like 20 minutes out there. And the first two people to actually kick off this whole match was Cody Rhodes and Javon Evans. I know we heard a "fuck you, Logan" chant during this match. Third person in was Trick Williams. He was in there then. Uh, I did find it
Chicago
funny.
don't play, man. Chicago do not play. Hey, they don't like you. They don't like you,
They
man.
don't like you, and I did think it was. I did think it was funny. First off, by the way, the announcer called Javon Evans Javon Williams coming out there.
I know. I know. I must have been on the floor when I heard that.
Yeah, I saw that, and even like Cole, because what Trick did the double booking, I believe, on both Cody and Evans, and Cole called it a double choke slam. Even
Yeah,
though
I thought. Yeah, I saw that too. He said he hit him with the double chokes. No, he didn't. I'm like, no, he didn't, Cole. That was no choke slam.
because that was I'm like that's not a choke that was a bookend. So like, what is he talking about? And then the fourth person in this match is Logan Paul, which Cody, Javon Evans, and Trick immediately jumped him because it is the last day of Black History Month yesterday. So they beat this goofy ass nigga up. Okay, so you can hear the memes of "fight back, nigga." Have you seen that online? So it was the last day of Black History Month. They had Raheem Evans and Trick beat this man down. They beat this scam artist down. It is Black History Month, folks. I know it's March Madness today, so it's a different month now. Shoot nigga like it's tragic, but I can't play that song right now because it's March Madness. But enough of future. But moving on to that, yeah, they immediately jumped him. But by the way, I'd like to say this one quick thing. Other than them jumping Logan Paul, I know you brought that Pokemon. You know he scammed people out of that Pokemon card again, even selling it, right? Because I believe people put money into that Pokemon card, but they're not going to be seeing any money from it. So this is like what the second, third time he scammed somebody.
Man, dang, that nigga, how did he get a chance to get to scare somebody more than once? Like, after, well, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, you can't do that, man. Like, how these niggas are not understanding who this guy is? Like, this guy is a scam artist. Why you keep on allowing him to scam you?
I'm probably let him come out and say something about that on Raw a few weeks ago. Because even when I heard he was selling that card and he got like $16 million from selling it, it's like, all right, man, who you scamming this time? And now, like, if you really look it up, yeah, apparently scam more people because I guess people put invested money into that card, but given he sold it, I don't think none of those people are gonna be seeing any money. Like, I'm not gonna
Man,
go to all his scams or what he's done because it's a lot of them that would take a while to talk about. But I just saw that and I was like, oh, so he scam more people again. Why do you all keep investing money into him?
right. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be doing that, man. Like you, I don't understand. I just don't understand how they allow people like him to get over like that. And then, man, I mean everybody want to just praise him on everything, man. But like the first few times I was praising him, I'm like, oh okay, man, he doing good. I like that about Logan. He actually doing good. But now it's like how when a person you praise a person so long, they feel it themselves after a while, like I can do this, then I can do this, and it's like it seems like now he just folded it in, like he dropped Evans on his damn head.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that next.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like
That was
that
pretty
was pretty
rough.
rough. He is rough. Like people, I don't understand what people not seeing. Like he is rough, man. He a rough guy to be in the ring with. I know I'm going to hear this a lot from a couple of people. Once, once they stop playing, stop treating him with kid gloves, because that's what the WWE doing. They ain't allowing nobody to say anything about this man. You notice that, right? Nobody said anything about this man. So I really think they treated him with kid gloves. Once those kid gloves and stuff, we gonna hear a lot of people say, "Oh man, being in that ring with him," you know. I know we are because my goodness, bro, this not the first time I see this for this man.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's true. But that because that his finisher he did on Evans was pretty rough. Because even before that, I was gonna because I was gonna get to that in a second. Because I was just talking about like, what LA Knight was number five. I know they did that did with the pod by throwing Logan off the pod, him and Evans on everybody. And I know six was Orton, and I did like what Evans did, like that kick on Trick. He said, "Yo, dumbass." That was pretty funny. Like, dumbass. Like, but no, once Evans did like his big frog splash on the trick off the pod, then Logan came in with his finisher, and I thought he did drop Evans on his head. So I don't know if Evans was even still selling well at the end, but that was pretty rough. I'm not
that
gonna
was
lie.
rough, bro. That was rough, bro.
That was pretty rough to see. So I'm not gonna lie, that was rough. Then we go into next what LA Knight, which I'm sure you saw the botch move he did trying to do his thing off the rope, and
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but it's one of those situations I get LA a pass on that one because LA when he hit those elbow drops pretty smooth, you know, and I know what he was trying to do. I knew what happened, so yeah, and plus like I don't know, did you have the feeling of LA wasn't all the way in it? I don't know, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like I, LA man wasn't all the way in it. He was half ass in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what goes on type of move. Like he still being a professional out there. He still doing all the spots that he needed to do, but it just looked like he was half ass doing the spots. Like, oh, let me give me that. Let me get to my elimination and let me get up out of here because I'm not gonna win this match. They not gonna give me the world title. They not gonna push me. Let me just get up out of here. I
yeah,
don't know if I'm the only one who was seeing that.
I don't know if this push is over at this point. I don't know because he was the second one out of there, and like I said, the whole botch thing didn't help because he ended up just getting rolled up by Logan Paul after. Because like me, I don't know why I said like LA Knight's gonna win the Chamber, which obviously should have known better. I should have known better than that, but I was like, well, he's gone, like he's done, and I was like, welp. So I don't know if this is over or he was really phoning it in and that because I don't know what goes next with LA Knight. I honestly don't know. Like he's still over, but I don't know why. I feel like this push is done. I feel like it's over. I feel like it is in a way. So I don't really know where LA Knight kind of goes, but yeah, that didn't really end off well. Even him getting eliminated, so I was like, well, I was like, there you go. So I don't know if it's over, but I don't know much to say. And then like right after, what like Trick was out next because like Logan, I know he flipped Trick over, which I guess Trick was supposed to land on his feet and he didn't, but Cody at the crossroads on Trick and he was gone in, and as they were helping Trick out of there, another masked man because they love doing this masked man gimmick a lot. He ran to the trying to get into the ring, but Adam Pearce took all the security and got rid of the masked guy, which we didn't know who it was, just like Friday didn't know who it was. And then when they helped Trick out of the ring, another masked man got in the ring, which no security and the referees are doing anything about it. But he kicked Logan, he did the curb stomp, and then the crowd popped for Seth Rollins who unmasked himself, which Heyman obviously, got to overreact. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't believe it's him! It's Seth! Oh my God! Okay, and stuff. And then, he just looked at Cody and Cody pinned him. Let me say this with Seth Rollins coming back now, because here's the problem I think what's going to lie on next when it comes to Seth versus this vision. The two main guys that were the originals are injured right now and are hurt. I don't know if Braun is even going to make it back before WrestleMania. We already just saw Bronson Reed get hurt. So, like, who does he really have left to face right now?
Yeah, that is true. Like, is he gonna? It probably Logan Paul.
Yeah, but here's the thing with going against Logan Paul, though. Let me say this: like, he's going against Logan Paul. Like, we've already seen him face him in WrestleMania like a few years ago. So this is who Seth has left. Is either Logan Paul or Austin Theory? Like, this is kind of weird because, like, what does he really have much to come? What's he? The most person he could take revenge on is Heyman
I
because the
mean,
other two main guys are hurt.
yeah, it's gonna probably look like Austin Theory. Like you said, you don't want to run it back with the Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. That was like you said. That was how long ago? Was it a couple of years
Two,
ago?
3 years ago at
Right,
WrestleMania.
right. You don't want to run it back, and so it probably yeah, like I said, it probably Austin Theory.
So yeah, I guess because like yeah, what does Seth really have to come back to with the other two main guys being hurt? So I don't know if Braun will be better before Mania, but they said that hernia is really bad, and like I said, Bronson with the tricep. So, like I said, his group is cursed. Though it's like this is what Seth Rollins has left to come back to, for Mania now. So, I don't know. And then like once Logan was eliminated, it was between Cody and Orton. Next thing you know, Drew McIntyre ends up in the Elimination Chamber. Somehow he got in and got past security like everybody else, and hits Cody in the back of the head with the title. And Cody, starts going after not Cody, but Drew starts going after Cody did with the Glasgow kiss. Orton that came back then. He ended up RKOing Drew, and then Cody hit him with the crossroads, and then Orton immediately hit another RKO onto Cody Rhodes, winning the Elimination Chamber, which I don't know how many Elimination Chamber wins he has on his belt right now, but it will be Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Honestly, I don't really have a problem with this. I kind of thought Cody was going to win it because it just kind of seemed predictable. Honestly, I thought Jacob was going to interfere in this match, but he didn't. But, Orton, I'm not really mad at this. A lot of people have already been questioning the booking of Randy Orton for a while now, of him not being a main event guy or even in sorry, in the title picture because they've been having Orton stare at Cody's title half the time for over a year and nothing came up from it. But now I guess, okay, he is going for the title now. So I don't know if it's going to be still a one-on-one by this point because apparently there's some things that happened in the post-show. And I guess Cody is now getting an immediate title shot this Friday on SmackDown against Drew for some reason.
What? Wait, hold on. I ain't even peeped that when they start when they announced that, bro.
Immediately into the post show right after, because I guess the security tried to get rid of him, and all this yelled at him. And then I guess now this Friday, even though I could have swore they said something about people bringing this up after the damn 3 stages of hell, I thought Cody couldn't face for the
I
title
know.
against Drew anymore.
I thought so too. I thought that was the stipulation. Like when they thought we were retarded or something, we gonna forget. Nah, we remember that stipulation. Like, come on now. Now he gets to go for the title. Hold on, tap out. Tap out. Are they trying to use this to try to make a multi-man match?
I
Because
figured
that's
it was
all.
gonna be a multi-man match to begin with. If Cody would have won, I thought it was gonna be a triple threat.
So what we had these people risk their lives in the elimination chamber, all to just say, man, shoot, the niggas who lost in the qualifying matches, they're gonna be in it anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
they gonna end in it somehow. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. Because like it's gonna most likely be a fatal
And
four way now. It's gonna be a fatal four way.
that's how it looking. That's exactly.
Did you think Orton was gonna win?
No, I once I saw it was ordered Cody, I thought it was Cody. I
I
like
did too. I did too. And I thought
cause
Cody was gonna win and they make it a triple threat, but now I see it's gonna be a fatal four way.
Fatal four way.
That's what I see happen with the WWE title. So and now it's like, oh, Cody gets a title shot this Friday on SmackDown. Even though he just lost the chamber, he gets another one because Drew got involved. Like, well, shit. Then that's what we doing now. Okay. But yeah, now they've made it that, and I'm sure Jacob's gonna get involved somehow this Friday, and then it'll be a fatal four way because, like I said, Orton won the chamber, so now it's gonna be a fatal four way. That's what it looks like.
So if this fatal four way is to is to make Jacob the champion. Because here's the thing, I you could have just had a one on one with any other person. I I think this fatal four way is to make a new champion, and it's not for Drew to walk out as champion.
I don't think he's gonna walk out as champion. I'd actually be surprised if he does, but I feel like it's gonna be somebody else. I don't think it'll be Cody. I think it's either between Orton and Jacob.
Yeah, me
That
too.
that's what I think is gonna happen because I don't know. It's like it's not gonna be a one on one, but like I said, it's gonna be a fatal four way. Or for all I know, what if Cody just wins the title this Friday and then it's Cody versus Orton? Even though it looked like they were already teasing that in the past, which I don't know why they never pulled the trigger on that to begin with, because they had Orton stare at Cody for so long, he was kind of waiting for Orton to turn on him.
Yeah,
So that's what I
but
thought was gonna happen.
yeah,
So
I thought that was gonna happen too, but. I swear, like that order winning kind of surprised me because order haven't been in this picture in a while. You know what I'm saying? He been feuding with Aleister Black for the longest.
yeah,
So
not really in the main event like that.
right, so his win kind of came, no pun intended, came out of nowhere. So so it's like I was kind of cool with it. You know, even though, and like we just said, it looked like it going to head to a multi-man match in the first place, and so it kind of made the chamber match kind of non and void.
Yeah, because like, oh, Cody gets a title shot. I'm like, he was just in the chamber. How do you get a title shot already?
Yeah,
So I don't know why they were going with that now. I will say I heard in the post show, and I don't know how true this was. What they tried to get Triple H on the panels until he did like a backstage segment because I guess they already kept booing Triple H every time he was at one of these panels out there, and he was getting booed heavily.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing, like, yeah, with Triple H, you're gonna get booed most of the time nowadays anyway. You know, he haven't been doing a bang up job. You know, so that's your fault, Triple H. That's not our fault. We can't just sit here and enjoy the show. You get what I'm saying? That's their favorite thing now. Just shut up and enjoy the show. Stop criticizing and enjoy the show. Like, oh wait, hold on. When we telling the fans to stop criticizing now? When we telling the fans that they don't know what they talking about, or is their enjoyment factor is not don't matter. And that's what I don't understand with these fans. Like y'all forking up so much money, but they also telling you that your opinion don't matter. So you can fork over all the money that you want, but as soon as you start speaking out on something, and that you don't like, you better shut your mouth and enjoy the show. And like, hold on, that's not cool. That's not what's up. Then tell the fans to just shut up and enjoy the show, man. I know you've been hearing that.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. Like Triple H was doing this last year around WrestleMania, saying that, but I've been hearing more and more people trying to say that now.
Jacob was just trying to take up for his cousin the other day. You know what I'm saying?
I
Talk
heard
about
about
so
that.
yeah, like come on, Jacob. I ain't look, man. We trying to like you. we kind of like you, Jacob. don't mess that up now. Do not mess that up. I'm sorry, your cousin. It ain't like we don't like your cousin. We don't like that. We like for him to tweak the character to see if he could come out with a different character or not have all this gimmick around him. Like, yeah, it's cool to have a gimmick, but my goodness, man, you relying on it so much.
Too much yeeting. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in a segment with Danhausen.
Oh man, dang.
They would have to do some crazy thing with him and Danhausen. I'll be honest, I actually thought they was gonna have him in this match and have some competition between Whoop That Trick and Yeet Chance. I actually thought that was gonna happen, so they just took him out at the last minute then and then put Logan in there. So
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I, I'm I'm kind of surprised that they did. They took him out. I guess he really wasn't supposed to. Like we said with Bronson Reed's injury. I guess he really wasn't supposed to be in there. So they needed an out for that. For him not to be in that match, and for somebody else to be in there.
Yeah, they basically called an audible, and it's like, okay, we had Jay, but now it's like, okay, we're gonna write off Jay, and now we're gonna put somebody else. Like I thought it was gonna be Jacob being this thing, but nah, they went with Logan Paul then because they had to do the whole Seth Rollins return thing. So I guess they had to still do that one way or another, and that's why they went with Logan Paul. But nah, I thought like I said, I thought Jacob would have been in it, but nah, like there's a reason why they took out Jay Uso. I will say this funny. A lot of people felt like Raheem would have won it because it was the last day of Black History Month.
Everybody leave Raheem alone, man.
I really rolled with that. Like I said, when they had all three of them in the ring, all three, they
they
jumped Logan. So
They was like, man, we're gonna end Black History Month on a good note. Beat up the white man.
beat up the white man. That was basically what it was, man. That's what that whole little stick looked like. I've seen the clips online. Especially like he's like they jumping him like fight back, nigga, fight back. Like yeah, I saw that. But this show though. Two questions though. Like overall thought on this show, and you said your cousin went to this show. How did he enjoy it by going to the United Center?
I was just texting him during the show. I guess he didn't hit me back up yet, but I wanted to know how the crowd was when we were talking about the crowd and everything. But oh yeah, we were talking about Danhausen. When was the last time Danhausen was on AEW television? If I'm not mistaken, they said it was. Hold on, let me get the information. The AEW Rampage in the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, December 30th, 2023.
Damn,
But his last appearance with under Tony Khan own production like ROH, he was in ROH. The last time that was uh one time in 2023, late 2023, and another appearance in February 2024.
Damn.
That's the last time, Bryce. That's the last time.
That's why I have to wonder, like, when was the last time we even seen this guy on TV?
Yeah, that it looked like it that it was going to be 3 years from 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? December 30th, 2023 on a television show. The last time anybody seen him on TV, you know.
Yeah, because I really wondered, like, when was the last get this guy was even on TV? I didn't even know if he was still with the company in that. After a while, I did not even know. I had heard a little about his contract and that it was up, but I didn't know if he was really re-signed with them and that. So I didn't know where he was after a while. So that's why I was even sounding surprised. Like, damn, I didn't know if he was still even with AEW. So I don't know how this is really about to work well in WWE because right now this was a horrible start. So we'll see what happens. But I thought this was a wait. That was just a whole waste of time. I would have liked to go on to the show. Listen, I've been to the United Center at least 4 times when it comes to wrestling, even though all of those are like AEW. Obviously, Punk coming back to wrestling and the first Forbidden Door show and the first episode of Collision and I think All Out that year. Well, then again, at least the tickets were more affordable to get into at that time than what I could say right now. So I would have liked to gone. I would have. It still would have been cool to go, but like I said, tickets is too damn high. But like my overall thought on the show, though, I don't know. Like it was what it was. I think they really tried to end off strong with Orton winning and all the shenanigans and stuff at the end and stuff. But obviously, Punk and Finn. I probably think that was the best match out of the entire night. I did, like I said, I like the whole entrance and stuff. AJ gets a bit of a moment. The match was okay. Like I say, it was pretty predictable. Like I say, it's 4 matches. We all knew Rhea was winning. Orton was kind of surprising because I'm sure a lot of us thought it was going to be Cody, but it's going to end a fatal 4-way. But I thought that, like, overall, thought the show, it wasn't, it was bad. I know a lot of people saying it sucked, though, mostly, but to what I've been seeing, but it was okay, I thought, but it was still a lot of, like, just a lot of shit that don't make sense. Or just the Danhausen stuff was the worst thing on the show. Okay,
Yes, it was.
Danhausen thing that sucked. That was the worst thing about this show.
Yes, it was,
That
boy.
that was horrible. That was really really bad. Okay, that went out really badly. And come on, people started to boo right after. So I don't know what happens next with that, but
What
yeah,
gonna happen? What can you like I said, man, what can you really do with him?
I
Like
think he
what
should
are
be
you
thrown in. I just throw him on NXT or something.
I, yeah, that's I think they're gonna end up happening anyway, Bryce.
I'd
I
be
think they're
surprised if
gonna
he's still on the main roster.
I will be too, but I think that's what's gonna end up happening. They're gonna end up just throwing them on NXT or throwing them in AAA. You know, what's gonna end up happening by the summer.
Put him with the iguana or something.
Oh my goodness! But I can't say though he looked it like he been in the gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I
go back and
definitely
look.
he definitely looked like he was in good shape though. I definitely give him
Yeah, so I don't like yeah, like I don't know where it's gonna lead to, but
that.
I guess we'll see what happens. But like right now, no, this shit was that was not good. Okay, it really wasn't. Like I said, I've seen more people say that a lot of this show really sucked, honestly, to what I've been seeing, but I thought it was okay. But like I said, I would have liked to have gone, but it's just too damn high. But this was a very predictable show, though. It's like you already knew who. I feel like all like other than the main event, obviously the first 3 matches were in my opinion, I thought they were very predictable.
I mean, yeah, of course. We knew Rhea was going to win. We knew we knew AJ was going to win. We knew that we knew CM Punk was going to win. I did it. Yeah, that's the crazy part about it. I went into the mid chamber not knowing who was going to win. So that was the only that was the only match.
Yeah, because like I already kind of had on Cody, but I'm like, okay, Orton, all right, I'm fine with that because. Like I said, all right, it's Randy Orton, and a lot of people have been saying like he ain't really been in the main event picture like that, but it's gonna likely just end up being a fatal 4-way, like we already said before at WrestleMania. So, like that's my thought on the show. My only thing is that I'm surprised. Like I guess the Elimination Chamber matches, but both those matches went like I think the main event was like 25 minutes, and I told you the women's chamber was 24 minutes. Like how are we making this shit go for almost 4.5, 4 hours or something? Like I said, start at 6 o'clock, then go off till 10.
Yeah, how did we make that into a 4 hour show?
And I get it's the chamber, so I'm kind of like it's like this. I understand that the Rumble is gonna be an hour with both matches. I can understand the War Games matches, maybe Elimination Chamber, but given looking at the times, oh, okay. Like some shows I get, but like every other show, it's like we've already had this debate about if there's too many matches or shorter matches and stuff. Like AEW's got like 15 different matches, but it's a marathon of a show, and in WWE they've only got like 4 matches. But you're still trying to stretch this thing to go out super long. One's too short, one's got too many. In my opinion, I still think it should be 6, 7 matches. I feel like that's an even number. Like that's fair enough. I'm not saying you got to go 15 to 20 because it's starkly different with both WWE and AEW. I just think with WWE, it's like depending on the show, I think 4 matches ain't enough, and you're just trying to stretch time with ads and commercials and a bunch of other stuff like the box. So
Yeah, but hey, the crazy part about it, the box wasn't that much of a stretch. It was like what, 5 minutes?
yeah, it went like 5 minutes and that was it.
Right, but it just felt like it was long because once you figure out who it was, you was like, "Can we move on now?"
And then the main event, like everybody's entrance took damn near like 20 minutes in total. And everybody
And
got
then
to
you
look at
had to
each other
run
getting to the
in.
pod. And then you got run ins and, returns and just a lot of shenanigans going on and stuff. So that's why I was like, yeah, like it was just, you kind of stretching for time to some extent. But it was a very predictable, I think it was just a very, really predictable show, though. It's like you just kind of knew what was gonna happen. So that's my take on it, though. Like I said, other than that, overall thought before we go.
Not bad of a show. Not bad of a show. I think it was better than, to me, it was better than the Rumble. I definitely say that. It really like it was predictable, but it wasn't bad. How we got to the result wasn't really a bad thing. I mean, a bad way to get there. The best match of the night was CM Punk versus Ben Balor. To me, I think that was the best match of the night. Um, if we had to do the worst match of the night, it has to be the elimination women elimination chamber because it really wasn't that good. I would say Becky and AJ, but I know why Becky and AJ look like that. You know what I'm saying? One person one person was haven't had a match, hadn't had a one-on-one match in a decade. I the way that women elimination chamber match went, it was no business. It was no business looking like that. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't. They had no business looking like that. It had a lot of veterans in there that knew what they were doing, and it still looked like a complete mess in there. So nah. I definitely say that was the worst match of the night. But overall, the show wasn't bad.
Okay, I will say one last thing. When it comes to the chamber, do you think the lack of blood doesn't help? To make this thing look even more brutal. I know they crash through the plexiglass a lot, or jump off the pod. But you think like the lack of blood, you think that doesn't help the chamber look as brutal like it did in the past, or
Nah, you know what took the brutality away from me? Having a elimination chamber match every year. That took the brutality away from me. I remember. I don't know. I was old enough to remember that you we both are, but at the same time, when we only had an elimination chamber match another pay per view, was that what it called the elimination chamber? It was a SummerSlam or a paper remember the New Year Revolution
Yep.
elimination chamber match, which resulted into the first cash in. It's like that took the brutality away from it, right? Having this every single year, like this, like that just neuter it. Like oh man, and we make it for a title match. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh well, to get to a title match, it's like we all know that we can't go too far because the person who gotta win this gotta make sure they make it to WrestleMania. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's what made it neuter it. I really think having it every year. Yeah, you could put not having blood at the second place as a second thing that a second reason why it looked like it don't have the brutality anymore. But I think it having it every year really killed it.
Yeah, and only sometimes these things end up really being good or crazy. Like I didn't think this one was too crazy, honestly. Maybe in the main event a little some crazy stuff happened, but I feel like the women's one it was like, yeah, it was a few things, but not like no wild type of insane shit going on and stuff. So I can understand like with the chamber it's kind of devalued in years. Maybe you get a one good one here and there, depending on what year it is or whatnot. It ends up being really good, but I think doing it as a yearly thing now, it's not gonna hit the same like it did in the past or the brutality. I know the chamber has changed up throughout the years and has a different design and whatnot. Which I get why. Because come on, let's remember when people used to hop up on the pod, you gotta like really crouch on you, or you hit your head on top of the chamber and the real glass they was using at the time. So it was a lot of brutality in that. But now I get it. Even like the pads on the outside. Obviously, help the wrestlers and stuff, and that be as brutal. So I get it, but it has some lost that value to an extent too. So I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, other than that though, getting this off from here, like I said, not really much of a long show. It's only like 4 matches, so it wasn't really that long to get through anyways. Next time we gotta come back on here is maybe AEW Revolution. Maybe. If not, then we'll be back for WrestleMania, obviously. But yeah, AEW Revolution is the next I believe pay-per-view coming up soon this month. So we will see what happens though. So yeah, wake up. It's the first of the month. Comment, subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification bell. Anything you want to say before we go?
Um, no, nothing else really. All steam ahead to the road to WrestleMania, which I'm thinking like I'm excited for, but knowing damn well I'm not. But fake it until you make it, I guess.
Hey, AJ Styles had a point. AJ Styles had a point about his comment on Mania. I'll say that. He wasn't
but
wrong.
well, follow me at Straight Face 40. Um, I'm just hey, all steam ahead.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, we out of here. See y'all then. Peace out.